America, should I say.
Yeah.
Will bowlers have a preference? Will they bowl one over from one end and say, hey, I don't want to go on that side again? Will they be able to change?
It depends. I mean, I got a former captain standing behind me over here. He kind of tells you what to do.
Okay.
But a lot of the bowlers like to bowl, the quick bowlers would prefer to bowl with the wind. It's nice to have the wind behind you. And I'm sure, I haven't seen the flags out today, but Anrich Nortje would love to bowl with the wind. It just feels like you're bowling a little bit quicker, but it also makes you push that front line a little tighter. So you've got to be careful with bowling no balls.
Yeah, just getting a little bit leg side there.
Is it similar to baseball where the quicker you bowl, the more say you have in the clubhouse?
I would say so, yeah. But if you annoy your captain, you might have to wake up the next day in a test match and run into the wind. It's the worst position you ever want to be in.
Well, final ball remains in this over. Speed's looking excellent there, up to 150 clicks. Last ball before drinks, and is there going to be a wicket underneath it? And what a catch in the sunshine. It looked like it was Tristan Stubbs running around there, and he's done some real athletic work. South Africa absolutely dominating.
Anrich Nortje has come in at 150 kilometers an hour, and he's put the brakes on the Sri Lankans. Not that the Sri Lankans have really got off to a good start in the first place, but he's got the big wicket right now.
Well, this is Sri Lanka's lowest total after 10 overs in T20 internationals. This is not going good at all. This is not the game plan. Last ball before drinks was just looking to find a way to break the shackles, and the short ball got too tall. An excellent bit of work there, looking into the sunshine and holding his nerve. So Kusal Mendes goes for 19.
Free! The shock to लगेगा. Download the app now.
जैसे चाय और क्रिकेट।
Welcome back, 40 for 5 it is. What a performance this is by South Africa at the moment. Angelo Matthews is in now, and he's someone who we know is a fine player, and he's someone who is ideal right now, I think, for Sri Lanka, because South Africa are all over him at this stage. Maharaj, just a little bit of a leading edge. Anrich Nortje has been bowling very quickly. That last delivery, 150 Ks per hour when he picked up that wicket, so magnificent work from him. But it's Maharaj right now. Just trying to keep things nice and quiet. We're going to have a quick look at that wicket. Steve Smith's alongside me. Steve, he can take through this wicket.
Yeah, he's bowling beautifully, Henrik. I think the wicket's really suited the South African fast bowlers so far, and he's just bashing that back of a length, and something had to give. Kusal 19 off 30. You know, they're under the pump here. That was a great catch by Stubbs in the outfield.
Yeah, he's a fine cricketer. Tristan Stubbs, fine power hitter, wonderful hands, very good catcher. And the South Africans were delighted to pick up that last wicket of Kusal Mendes, who's the mainstay up until that moment. Hello, Russ. How are you going?
Not to plan. Yep. But it might not look as good, but the conditions are tough. It's actually tougher than what we thought earlier on. And as Steve rightly said, the South Africans have kept it simple and really made those conditions count. Timing the ball has been a real challenge, and hence the wickets falling, the batters do have to try something. And hence you take your chances. Unfortunately, nothing's come off. It's time of the game where you feel a top edge to fly for 6, a couple of runs, something in your favour.
Yeah, I think winning the toss and electing to bat is something that's put them on the back foot. The conditions, of course, run no one. They found out about the conditions now. Chance for a run out. Smartly back, but also quickly home. We're going to have a look at it, though, to see what they say.
Yeah, I was really surprised that they decided to bat first this morning. 10:30 a.m. game, uncertainty in the wicket, what it's going to do, and obviously it's done.
TV umpire director, we've got an umpire review for a run out. You get your best side on view. The wicketkeeper's in. Yeah, I've got the back grounded, ready to make my decision.
So not out's the call.
There was a single there, wasn't it?
Reprieve. Sorry, Russ.
There was a single that I thought Matthews should have been helping Hasalanka out.
Just past the outstretched hand. That's going towards the third boundary. Outfield's a little bit on the slow side. We've seen that today. That's the 11th over gone. 44 for 5.
ये बात सबको बता दो, हर किसी तक ये खबर पहुंचा दो कि शॉक ऐप पे आईसीसी मेंस T20 वर्ल्ड कप हो रहा है लाइव स्ट्रीम, वो भी बिल्कुल फ्री। तो शॉक तो लगेगा। डाउनलोड द ऐप नाउ।
नए स्ट्रॉन्गर पेप्सी, कमाल का टेस्ट है यार।
एक्टिंग है या नई स्ट्रॉन्गर पेप्सी का कमाल, खुद ट्राई करके देखो।
Zong My 5 बंडल से शेयर करो पाकिस्तान में कहीं भी 5 लोगों में 200 GB डेटा और बेशुमार कॉल्स महीने भर के लिए।
जोड़े आसमानों पे बनते हैं, मानते हैं ना, मगर कुछ जोड़े तो जमीन पर भी बनते हैं।
जैसे चाय और क्रिकेट।
वाइटल पियो, जिंदगी जियो।
Lightning quick, 2 for 4. And he'll be delighted with that return at this stage because I think we all know since he's come back from his injury, he has been expensive, but he certainly likes this surface on the sidelines for 8 months. Certainly has been saying that he has his rhythm back over the last little while, and he thought that his success wasn't too far away. He's running and he's got a slip as well. Easily worked away for a single.
The Hasaranga promotion, that's the flexibility that the Sri Lankans do tend to use. Keshav Maharaj was introduced, and they've successfully used Hasaranga to go in and take the spinners down. Looking at the game, it was such a situation. Unfortunately, Maharaj is also a clever operator. He knew what was coming. He held it back nicely, and it did look very ugly, I must say.
Look here again. Flicked away, and that's another one straight to him. Not for the first time today. See, they've been picking out some fielders on that boundary line, that's for sure. Sri Lanka, South Africa continue their celebrations.
For a moment, I thought he timed it well. He did, in fact.
He's bowled beautifully here. That extra pace, the surface is a bit of up and down there, and they've looked at sea today, the Sri Lankan batsmen, and they're in a whole heap of trouble right now.
Big smile from Anrik Nortje. He's now got 3 for 5, so that's outstanding for him. And Asalanga goes for half a dozen. Sri Lanka now 45 for 6 and in trouble.
नए stronger Pepsi. कमाल क्या टेस्ट है यार.
एक्टिंग है या नई स्ट्रॉन्गर पेप्सी का कमाल, खुद ट्राई करके देखो।
ये बात सबको बता दो, हर किसी तक ये खबर पहुंचा दो कि शौक ऐप पे आईसीसी मेंस T20 वर्ल्ड कप हो रहा है लाइव स्ट्रीम, वो भी बिल्कुल फ्री। तो शौक तो लगेगा। डाउनलोड द ऐप नाउ।
शुक्राना करूं अल्लाह का, सूफी मैं हुआ।
सूफी जो नाम है एतमाद का।
यूफोन 4G की डिजिटल मेगा ऑफर से मिले 200 GB डेटा। गो रूट लो।
Now after 2 balls into the 12th over, 6 down. Eased away on the onside.
And Norcat, it was a perfect way for him to ease into the game as well. Mike was making the point that he's not played for a long time. Couple of wickets early and then they're on top. Dasun Shanaka, Sri Lanka's former captain. He's the new batter. There's a lot of experience here, but left with a lot to do, Steve.
Plenty to do. The experience of these two is really important as Nortje comes in again. Nice hard length again, no run, mid-wicket in. But I really like this field as well for South Africa. They've got a first slip in there, and they're continuing to attack and try to continue to take wickets, and it's been a great start. As we see the wicket again, he's just flicked that away straight to Hendricks in the deep, and not a lot going right for Sri Lanka at this point.
Yeah, they hit some of these deliveries that have been caught on the fence pretty well, but Reza Hendricks has got good hands. He's not going to put those down. Charging in again, Nortje. Short delivery. De Kock thinks about going up, but decides against it.
Quite close to Matthews on that occasion. He did swing after it passed him, and hence was not called a wide because Quinton de Kock collected it way down the leg side. Use their lengths really, really well. Back of a length is where they've stayed predominantly, but the short one and the fuller one has also been used very nicely, not getting carried away with that bounce that they see.
Just 2 runs from this over. Top stuff, and a wicket as well. Good stuff from Nortje, 46 for 6.
नए stronger Pepsi. कमाल क्या टेस्ट है यार.
एक्टिंग है या नई स्ट्रॉन्गर पेप्सी का कमाल, खुद ट्राई करके देखो।
जैसे चाय और क्रिकेट।
वाइटल पियो, जिंदगी जियो।
यूफोन 4G की डिजिटल मेगा ऑफर से मिले 200 GB डेटा। गो रूट लो, शॉक, वादा और यू क्लाउड की फ्री सब्सक्रिप्शन, तो फिर हर दिल बोले डेटा बहुत है।
अलाइज खानम अकाउंट, जिसमें मिले 1 नहीं 4 बैंक अकाउंट के ऑप्शंस, लॉकर्स पे 50% डिस्काउंट, मेरा अपना ब्रांडेड डेबिट कार्ड, अलाइज खानम अकाउंट।
ICC T20 World Cups.
And in this type of bowling lineup, a bowler like Maharaj can be so effective. He's a finger spinner. We nowadays like the wrist spinners to come into the game because there's a lot more variations. But it is a known fact that from a Sri Lankan point of view, taking Maharaj down is quite key. And he's a step ahead in how he uses his variations. He's even gone on to pick up 2 wickets.
He's a very smart bowler. He understands what he's trying to do. He can bowl defensively when he wants to, and he can be attacking when the conditions are suiting as well. So, you know, he's experienced now. He's played a lot of cricket and understands his role within the team.
Hey you, stop holding your cock and check this out. Naughty girls are on this website to find someone to video chat or live fuck for free. They basically...
First of all, he reads the batter quite nicely. He tries to understand what you're trying to do and brings his lengths in from there. But, you know, he's got good skills. He brings his arm around and can cut underneath the ball when he wants to. He can get over the top of the ball when the conditions suit as well. So he's just really smart and reads the batter really well.
He's certainly on target at the moment, and very good work off his own bowling.
What he's trying to do here is just bowl stump to stump. He's not looking for turn, slight change of pace, and dangling the carrot to the batter. The pressure's building.
Good shot, hard down the ground. That's beautifully played. What a fine strike.
50 on the board, Mike. It's been a long time coming. Angelo Matthews takes him down. So that's what he's looking for, and it needed a good shot to get you runs. And Angelo Matthews suddenly pounced on it, got close to it and hit through the line. So that's dangling the carrot this time. Matthews well on top of that.
Certainly not much turn on the surface. I think that's something we need to note for the remaining games as well in New York. Dot ball to finish. 13 gone, 53 for 6.
Zong My 5 bundle से शेयर करो पाकिस्तान में कहीं भी 5 लोगों में 200 GB डेटा और बेशुमार कॉल्स महीने भर के लिए।
अलाइज खानम अकाउंट जिसमें मिले एक नहीं 4 बैंक अकाउंट के ऑप्शंस, लॉकर्स पे 50% डिस्काउंट, मेरा अपना ब्रांडेड डेबिट कार्ड। अलाइज खानम अकाउंट मेरा इंतखाब।
Allied Bank, आपके दिल में हमारा अकाउंट।
ये बात सबको बता दो, हर किसी तक ये खबर पहुंचा दो कि शॉक ऐप पे आईसीसी मेंस T20 वर्ल्ड कप हो रहा है लाइव स्ट्रीम, वो भी बिल्कुल फ्री। तो शॉक तो लगेगा। डाउनलोड द ऐप नाउ।
Game. Big 6 from Angelo Matthews, 53 for 6 is now, only 7 overs remaining. If they continue at the current rate, they just go past 80.
Well, at the toss, I thought 160 somewhere you'll have to think of getting to. Moment the game starts and the way the ball was moving around, Sri Lanka on the back foot, it starts to come down 150, 140. But at in this situation,
Janssen now. Short delivery, top edge, tries to catch it. It's going to fall safe in the end.
It's very difficult as a batter to project how many runs you'd need to give your bowlers a chance. So just try and accumulate and then hope for the best with the ball is where Sri Lanka had. You can't think of scoring 8, 9 and over. Basically hoping for the best at this stage.
And they just haven't been able to get a partnership together, have they? They've been losing wickets in clumps, and they would have hoped to have been able to be a bit more aggressive against Maharaj, which they tried obviously with the injection of Hasaranga, but it wasn't to be. They just kept losing wickets.
Extra bounce again, working that one around. Just the single though.
And how comfortable South Africa are at this stage. They got a slip in place and they got 5 in the circle. That's very rare to see in a T20 game. Those covering the boundary lines are the ones who a batter will use pace and try and work it into.
Yeah, and I like this captaincy as well. You know, you've got him under the pump, 6 for 55 after 13, slip still in, 5 in the circle, being nice and aggressive and trying to bowl Sri Lanka out. I really like this as from a captain's perspective.
And look at where mid-on is. A very wide-ish mid-on. He's a fielder you'd use in Test cricket, Steve. Much wider, where you're not going to give the batter anything in his arc, that he's being full, but trying to hit him high on that splice.
Yeah, that's right. I think he's wide because Marco's just trying to bash hard of a length or back of a length, and for them to hit the ball down mid-on, he's probably going to have to back away and try and slap it down the ground. So, yeah, he's bowling for that back of a length ball like this one.
That's high, up in the air, gone far. It has gone far. It's a very good shot at the end. That's gone for 6.
That's the type of break the Sri Lankan batters were hoping for earlier on. Finally, a top edge flies away for 6. They'll need a lot more at this stage, but you can't die wandering. You've got to try, hope something comes your way, and you get something on the board. So, Dasun Shanaka, what he did well there was he got underneath it.
Batting deep in the crease as well. He's a fine power hitter, Chanaka. Very fine power hitter. He's hit that a long way. So Marco Jansen hasn't picked up a wicket yet. Maharaj has got a couple. Anrik Nortje has been absolutely outstanding, but that 6 will certainly help Sri Lanka, that's for sure. Jansen again. That swung a little bit. Nortje has been special. Gerald Coetzee, his teammates, got some words about him.
He had a tough injury, but yes, seeing Anrik in the last 2 years and what he's done, bowling 150 in and out all the time, I think it's not even a question about how good he is and how quick he is. I think he is, when he gets his chance, when he plays, he's going to bowl rockets.
Yeah, Coetzee is right. Rockets they are. Nice line from Marco Janssen. Dot ball to finish, 61 for 6.
नए stronger Pepsi. कमाल, क्या taste है यार.
एक्टिंग है या नई स्ट्रॉन्गर पेप्सी का कमाल, खुद ट्राई करके देखो।
यूफोन 4G की डिजिटल मेगा ऑफर से मिले 200 GB डेटा। गो रूट लो, शॉक, वादा और यू क्लाउड की फ्री सब्सक्रिप्शन, तो फिर हर दिल बोले डेटा बहुत है।
The South Africans creeping in and cutting those angles. No drop and run on offer either.
It's not a good graph, that's for sure, from Sri Lanka. All those W's certainly put them on the back foot. 6 of them. Every time they tried to get something going, a wicket fell that 9th over. 2 wickets going down at that 9th over, not to be runs as well. And you can see that that last over was bowled is the highest scoring over up until now.
10 and over 121. That would be fabulous for Sri Lanka.
Rabada dragging that on the onside. He's hit that beautifully. That is a fine shot. Outstanding work, Russ. You like that one?
Doing cartwheels here, Mike Hazeman, and so are the crowd, because over the last 3 overs, 3 sixes, and suddenly that innings is moving forward. This is what experience does for you. Angelo Matthews waiting for that ball to be full, and he's got the power. He can clear the ground. The leg side is the shorter boundary, I must say, at this point.
Yeah, he's got to continue to be aggressive as well and try and put the South African bowlers under a little bit of pressure here. These last 6 overs are crucial for Sri Lanka to post something on the board.
You can't die wandering. You've got to take your chances, because you never know what can happen in a game.
Oh, that's a terrific shot, 78 metres. That is beautifully played. And of course, it's the first ball of the over, so that puts Rabada under a little bit of pressure. I mean, he's such an experienced bowler these days and such a skillful bowler. He won't be too concerned. It's not going to upset him too much.
Markham still holding the 5 fielders in the circle.
Yeah, I like that they're still being aggressive. I like that they've kept him up. They said, you've hit one good shot, see if you can do it again. And if you miss cue, then, you know, we'll see you back in the shed and we'll go a long way to bowling you guys out.
Just as I say that, mid-wicket's been pushed back. So for once, Aiden Markram slightly defensive.
And it's amazing what happens, isn't it? When you put a bit of pressure back onto the bowlers, you change the field and change the mindset. And he's got that man out now that, you know, gives him a single to the leg side where it was getting stopped before. So it's another opportunity to score some runs.
15th over of the innings, you don't mind that as a fielding unit? 6 runs and over, 7 runs and over, you'll take it, because Sri Lanka will only get to around 100. And once you know that target, even the conditions are difficult, you can pace yourself and get there.
Bowled him.
Hey,
That's destroyed the furniture. Rabada's got himself a wicket, so he'll be delighted with that. He's a wonderful bowler. That was dead on target.
Fast and straight, and that was produced by the change in the field. Since deep mid-wicket went out, Dasun Shanaka thought his boundary hitting zone was down the ground or to over long off. Gives himself width. Goes leg side-ish, but Rabada, the view of the 3 stumps was too inviting.
Celebration there from KG. Picked up his first stick. Chanaka's a dangerous player, but he's gone for 9 now, and Sri Lanka 68 for 7.
अलाइव बैंक लाया है आपके लिए माय एबीएल व्हाट्सएप बैंकिंग।
अब अपनी बैंकिंग सर्विसेज इस्तेमाल करें माय एबीएल व्हाट्सएप बैंकिंग के साथ।
अलाइव बैंक, आपके दिल में हमारा अकाउंट।
Chatting from Aiden Markram, developing into a very fine captain. This is a really important match, this one, obviously the first game for both these teams in this tournament, the first time that they've played at this venue as well, where the surface is a little bit unknown. So 2 balls left now in the 15th over. In trouble are Sri Lanka. 68 for 7 it is. Tichana is a very fine spinner, off spinner. Has got some work to do with the willow.
Yeah, South Africa will like this workout as well, because they got 3 games here in New York. They goes leg side is looking to go over long off. Ball just stays slightly lower, but full and straight from Rabada. bowling almost at a 140.
And I like this again, some more aggressive captaincy. They've brought the slip back in. They've got the 5 fielders inside the circle again, and they're looking to bowl Sri Lanka out here.
It was a very good delivery from Rabada. Not too much about it. End of the over, 60, 8 for 7.
यूथ को चाहिए आजादी जो मिलती है एलाइड यूथ अकाउंट से।
अपनी मर्जी के डिस्काउंट्स पाने की आजादी,
फ्री ऑनलाइन ट्रांजैक्शंस करने की आजादी,
कैश कैरी ना करने की आजादी,
पर्सनल लोन से अपने ख्वाब पूरे करने की आजादी।
एलाइड यूथ अकाउंट, यूथ के दिल की आवाज। एलाइड बैंक, आपके दिल में हमारा अकाउंट।
Hilal Cream Fills, Pakistan's creamiest cake. So creamy, so dreamy.
So Sri Lanka reeling at the moment, 68 for 7, 5 to go. And just 5 overs remaining. They've got just 3 wickets in hand. They would have entertained thoughts of getting to 100. But it seems a tall ask now. Here's Nokia. Angelo Matthews now will have to get all his experience into play. He'll have to farm the strike, yet at the same time ensure that they get close to that 100 or just past 100.
And for the South Africans, it'll be the opposite. I think they've been excellent so far on a surface that has suited their style of play. They've kept it simple. The bounce has been in the surface for them to use. Everyone's bowled well in the attack. Nokia has had a rough ride coming back from injury, but today will be a big confidence booster for him. 3 wickets for just the 6 runs into his last over. Now they need to close it down, South Africa, not allow Sri Lanka to get to that total that could provide a few challenges for them.
Brilliant fielding. Well, it's just been hard work for the batsmen. South Africans have been relentless with their line and length.
Just having a look here, and this is a sign of pressure here. South Africa on it, diving it around in the field and just keeping that pressure on.
Be good to see the intensity from them. Their catching record and bowling record hasn't been the best in the last couple of years. Serious batting lineup, South Africa.
But Smithy, with all your experience as a player, as a captain, when you see conditions like this, what would your advice be? Now, especially when South Africa come out to bat, you can see the subtle variations in pace, the ball hardly bouncing on the way to the keeper.
So, Rav, I think coming into this World Cup, I would have been preparing for tougher conditions as a batter. I think we've seen the Caribbean. So up in the air, is this a chance at fine leg? Yes, it is. Norcair's having a day in the sun in New York. His 4th wicket. Excellent to see the smile on his face. Long time injured, back now and performing well.
Yeah, and I think he also set that up with the slower ball that really died previously. And then really a quick bouncer that just rushed the batter there. And so for Sri Lanka, this is really tough going, but say that South Africa are right on the money. This was beautiful. Bounce, got it high, really hard to control.
And the line was good. It followed Matthews. And that's a big wicket, real big wicket. Well, Sri Lanka won the toss. They had the opportunity to field first, but they opted to bat first. And it's been testing times. Number 8 goes down. Matthews for 16. It's 70 for 8.
Zone My 5 bundle से शेयर करो पाकिस्तान में कहीं भी 5 लोगों में 200 GB डेटा और बेशुमार कॉल्स महीने भर के लिए।
Caution, sign of caution when you don't know what's to come, especially as a batting captain. You know, let's see what it does for 20 overs. I think Sri Lanka's style of play, and Russell Lyon had said, you know, runs on the board, try and squeeze with their spinners. So they tried to stick to that. South Africa's just blown them away.
Oh, he's enjoying it.
He's pulling out the full repertoire. In the last 3 balls, we've seen the slower ball, serious, tasty bouncer, got that wicket. And he's able to follow it up with a Yorker. So his skills coming out. He's executing well. The big wicket of Matthews as he watches as it goes down.
Well, his the best figures for South Africa in T20 World Cup is Nokia 4 for 10. He's better than 4 for 7 now. Looks good to add to his tally. He's just got one ball left in this spell. But you're right, the smile is back on his face under the New York sun. It had disappeared for 2 months during the IPL and the fast outfields.
I tell you, coming back from a long-term back injury, that's not where you wanted to arrive as your comeback.
So there you go, excellent spell for the big fast bowler. 4 for 7 he finishes.
यूफोन 4G की डिजिटल मेगा ऑफर से मिले 200 GB डेटा। गो रूट लो, शॉक, वादा और यू क्लाउड की फ्री सब्सक्रिप्शन तो फिर हर दिल बोले डेटा बहुत है।
Here's Bartman. Nokia very impressive today.
Yeah, as we said, he's had a long-term injury and it's really been a struggle to get back to his best, Rovers, particularly the IPL. But one thing you know about him is that he's never short of hard work. He's very disciplined, does all the hard yards of training in the gym, very professional. And he would have been believing with his ability that he was going to get back there. And today would be a huge boost for him.
And also when you recover from injury, you always have that doubt in your mind whether you can go out full throttle, especially when you express. Now that he's, he feels he's injury free, he can run in, takes a lot of load out of his mindset. He wants to charge in and do his job.
I think it helps as well when you see a wicket that's got something in for the bowlers. You saw the bounce early on, all the seamers.
The other good thing that's starting to develop in the South African unit is this good competition starting to happen for places in the bowling side. We see Nandre Berger in the reserves, and his talented left armour. Nokia Otniel Bartman's career has really had an upward curve in the last year. Rabada's been there for a while, and Janssen. So you're starting to see, a bit of pressure for places, and that pushes people to improve and get better, and that's what you want.
And that competition is all thanks to you for the SA20. You've given a platform for young South Africans to, express themselves, showcase their talent.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. I think it's been good for South Africans to have a competition that, creates really competitive cricket and keeps the standard of the game strong. So we've seen players come through in that competition now, like an Otniel Bartman, who's really used it to create a steep curve of performance in his career. Now, at a World Cup and gets a wicket with his first ball. What a great story.
And this is an important start for South Africa. Let's not look at the form that they've come in. Really struggled. Out of their 11 T20s, only won a couple in that. Came off the back of West Indies, tough. So when you go into a World Cup, when you haven't got that rhythm, to come out straight away and really hit the straps is going to set the tone.
Yeah, South Africans, you look at that batting unit, you think, wow, there's some power players there who've missed a lot of international cricket because they've been at IPL and performing there. And you see that wide down the leg side. If you think around and you look at the squad, you think if the bowlers can have a good tournament here, that South Africa should be really competitive with the batting power and the smarts and the experience they've got in that unit.
And what's good to say today is how tight they've been with their lines, lengths. There's no wasted deliveries, not too many wides. They've been on the money, they've adapted to the conditions, their field placings. And they've complemented each other well as a bowling unit. 17 gone, 71 for 8.
Zong My 5 bundle से शेयर करो पाकिस्तान में कहीं भी 5 लोगों में 200 GB डेटा और बेशुमार कॉल्स महीने भर के लिए।
I still can't get my head over the fact that we are in a stadium that was built 5 months ago. Cricket coming to America. And this has been erected out of nowhere, playing quite well in the sunshine. A beautiful stadium.
It's a nice setting and the sun blazing down now. Here's Rabada. South Africa looking to bowl out Sri Lanka here. They don't want to wait till the end of 20 overs. They've got 2 wickets to take.
Yeah, we're talking about earlier the beautiful bowling of Nortje. Mixing it up with the slower ball, with the bouncer, and then the Yorker. So just going through that repertoire.
That's up in the air. That should be taken. The skipper takes the catch. Number 9 goes down. And the Sri Lankan innings in disarray.
Yeah, excellent from Rabada, using his experience. Bowling to the tail enders, hit that hard leg pace on it, and then a well-disguised slow ball to follow it. Just brilliant. An execution of skill from Rabada. The South Africans have been good in the field today. That's a slow outfield. You've got to do a lot of leg work, and they've had great intensity.
Hilal Cream Fills. Pakistan's creamiest cake. So creamy, so dreamy.
We're going to have to see what they can pull out of this. Feel with a couple of overs remaining. They get to 80 right now. They're not as well as they can, but that is just not what you're looking for in your first outing.
Nuwan Toshara, the new man out there. So Toshara, the last man.
Just brilliant skill, pace off the ball. The tail enders often works, especially when you've got pace. Never in a good position. That was brilliant from Rabada. Good thinking, good clear thinking from him. As we said, the South Africans have been good in the field.
Just like the way they've complemented each other.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that's been a real feature, is that the execution of the variations from all bowlers has been on point. At different phases as well. It's one thing you're doing it at the top of the innings, but coming back later on, the tail and executing your slower balls, getting those wickets, setting the field right. It's been clinical. Graham, I was going to say to you that on paper, for South Africa, this would be their hardest game. But then when I looked down the list, and we were talking a moment ago, we saw Netherlands are in there.
South African victory, and I just want to see us bat well. So just go game by game.
A couple of banana skins in there.
Yeah, listen, I think we were paired in the group with Holland on purpose. Blame the ICC for playing mind games.
So 18 gone, 71 for 9.
जैसे चाय और क्रिकेट।
वाइटल पियो, जिंदगी जियो।
Zong My 5 bundle से शेयर करो पाकिस्तान में कहीं भी 5 लोगों में 200 GB डेटा और बेशुमार कॉल्स महीने भर के लिए।
About what can we learn here to bowl? They're going to be coming out pretty soon. I think they're going to have to create some magic.
So here's Batman. 1 wicket to get. It's been all South Africa. After Sri Lanka won the toss, decided to bat first. Aiden Markram said he would have fielded, and just the skill sets coming to the fore. Bartman striking with his first ball, Maharaj getting into the act, Nokia having a field day. Oh, a mix-up. Shana wants to keep the strike.
10 and 11 fighting over the strike. Never seen that before. Tushara almost getting back for 2.
It was a comfortable run on. To stay. This is proper tail ender stuff here, isn't it?
Tikshana maybe see Tushara in the nets in the build-up, thought, the out of form, I'm taking the last couple.
What's good to see is even with the tail enders, the way they bowl to 8, 9, 10, 11, they've not altered their lines of length, just the occasional change of pace. They're stuck to their plans. They've been disciplined. That's put away for 4, and a big cheer from the crowd. Number 10 gets a boundary.
Yeah, cashing in here, and this was one that was a bit of a gift, really. Just kind of sat up off a length. There was no real threat in this ball, and if you think Shana, and you see that in this situation, you just got to throw your hands at it. The placement nicely to the right hand, mid-on.
Much needed runs for the Sri Lankans.
I think what this contest has done, it's woken up, it will wake up all the other sides that will play here over the next 10 days, over the next couple of weeks, because they will have to adapt to these conditions. They'll have to come up with new plans. It's not that 180, 190 is going to be easy to get. Got to have a strategy in place. The balance of your team has to be right. It's not often you make so many changes in T20 cricket, but you'll have to do something here. And keep the strike. 19 gone, 76 for 9.
नए स्ट्रॉन्गर पेप्सी कमाल क्या टेस्ट है यार
एक्टिंग है या नई स्ट्रॉन्गर पेप्सी का कमाल खुद ट्राई करके देखो
Excellent figures for Neil Bartman, first World Cup appearance, and just going at 2.25 to the over with the 1 wicket. Good effort in his debut at a world event.
So the final over. South Africa need 1 wicket to bowl out Sri Lanka. Jansen. Goes back for 2, chance of a run out. He's short of his ground. So that's the end of the Sri Lankan innings. It's their lowest total in all T20 cricket. And it's been an absolutely field day here for South Africa. It's a solid all-round performance. And they bowled out Sri Lanka for 76.
Just an excellent bit of fielding for Sri Lanka. Nokia bouncing it into the surface with the throw. Sand-based surface here, you never really know how it's going to react, but had enough pace on it. Jansen does the rest, and South Africa, well, this is their best bowling performance in a World Cup, restricting Sri Lanka to 76.
In fact, they took that 1 run. He was run out in the second, so add 1 to the score. They'll take every run.
Zong My 5 bundle से शेयर करो पाकिस्तान में कहीं भी 5 लोगों में 200 GB डेटा और बेशुमार कॉल्स महीने भर के लिए।
A very very happy South African team will leave the park. Sri Lanka won the toss. They were asked to field first, and it's been a solid performance in the field by the bowlers, backed up by good fielding. And the end result, they bowled out the opposition for 77.
Impressive first run out. Made the most of the conditions. We saw a bounce in the first ball, and it's continued. Well exploited.
The South Africans will leave the field here. Bowled out the opposition. Plenty of things to ponder here from South Africa's, from Sri Lanka's point of view. They would have seen how the pitch behaved. There you go, 77 all out. See plenty of batsmen getting into, in fact just two getting into double figures but not converting. And it's been all South Africa.
Yeah, excellent bowling performance from South Africa, using the conditions that were on offer. Jansen started supremely well, got extra bounce. Oh, just a day for Nortje, coming back from injury. His confidence would have got a huge boost with the 4 wickets. Otniel Bartman, a wicket on his first ever delivery in a World Cup. Maharaj backed up his 4 seam as well.
So there you go, you can see the first 6 overs, they just 1 wicket. Then the chaos. 7 to 10, they lose 4 wickets, and then after that a regular procession to be bowled out for 77. It's their lowest score in T20 cricket for the Sri Lankans. So let's go now to Nelly. She's got with her the man who took a wicket with his first ball in World Cup cricket.
Otniel Bartman with me now. Congratulations on a wonderful performance individually and as a team. You, first of all, though, the first ever South African to take a wicket with your first delivery at a World Cup. The smile says it all, but talk us through that moment.
Thank you very much. What else can you ask for? Good start, first ball wicket, it never happened. Hardly happened in T20 cricket. But the way the 2 seamers ball up front actually allowed me to settle in and just hit my straight from ball 1.
You went in with 4 quicks at the toss, and it's obviously paid dividends. But Heinrich Nortje in particular, there was a little bit of question mark over him given how little international cricket he's played lately. You must have been pleased for him as a teammate.
Obviously, he's a world-class athlete, world-class player. What else can you ask from a world-class player? But the way he bowls today, make him a world-class player. And like I said, the quicks allow him to settle in and just hit him straps. Like Coach mentioned, a world-class player bounce back from any situation or any pressure, and I'm actually glad for him.
And dismissing a former champion for 77, how proud are you of this team?
Very proud. The way the guys handle things out there is phenomenal, and the way Aiden mastered the troops so exceptional. But we always knew like the wicket was actually allowed for seamers. Oh, how can I say yes? Good for seamers, but we all know once you get to the middle period, the spin can actually slow it down for you, and it's exactly what happened today. When you have spinner like Kesa Maharaj in your team, what better can you ask for?
And you spoke a little bit about these conditions, which are unknown here in New York up until today. It can be a tricky chase, those smaller ones. How do you think you'll go about it?
I think it's just partnerships. Play ball, you see it. There is some movement for the seamers, but if you have partnerships up front, especially up front in the power play, and handle a new ball, I think we can come through this and back the boys to hit it.
And you in particular never played cricket outside of South Africa before, and here you find yourself in New York in the United States. What a dream.
And actually it is a dream come true, especially if you a player to make your debut for Africa in the World Cup, or the debut for a T20 World Cup is actually exceptional. But as a player you dream about those kind of things, and wow, this actually happened here, and I can be proud of that.
Congratulations, the smile is one worth saving and savouring. Well done.
Thank you very much.
So a dream start for Bartman there. And there you go. Sri Lanka were bowled out for 77. South Africa need 78 runs to win from their full 20 overs. We'll take a break and see you on the other side.
The wait is over. International cricket has officially landed in the Big Apple. Sri Lanka up against South Africa.
First ball in World Cup cricket for Bachman, and he strikes.
Sri Lanka in a lot of problems. Absolute beauty. South Africa all over this here. South Africa absolutely dominating.
Just close the doors, and you're in a world of your own. Travel is not just about the destination, it's also about how you get there. Fly Emirates, fly better.
पाकिस्तानी नेटवर्क यूफोन 4G, जिसके लिए सब कुछ तुम ही तो हो।
एलाइड बैंक, आपके दिल में हमारा अकाउंट।
Zone My5 200 GB डेटा और बेशुमार कॉल्स महीने भर के लिए।
Brought to you by
चाय और क्रिकेट।
वाइटल पियो, जिंदगी जियो।
Supported by जानी और माली तहफ़्फ़ुज़ देता है मेरा पेपाक कार्ड। अपने बैंक से पेपाक डेबिट कार्ड नाम लेकर तलब करें।
Hilal Cream Fills, Pakistan's creamiest cake. So creamy, so dreamy.
बने रहें हम कौम की उम्मीद की किरण। ये है FFC का अज़्म।
Presented by
नए स्ट्रॉन्गर पेप्सी।
एक्टिंग है या नई स्ट्रॉन्गर पेप्सी का कमाल, खुद ट्राई करके देखो।
पाकिस्तानी नेटवर्क यूफोन 4G, जिसके लिए सब कुछ तुम ही तो हो।
एलाइड बैंक, आपके दिल में हमारा अकाउंट।
Zone My5 200 GB डेटा और बेशुमार कॉल्स महीने भर के लिए।
We move cricket so that cricket moves you. Smart logistics beyond boundaries.
First time here in New York in the T20 World Cup, and what a venue for Sri Lanka taking on South Africa in the first match, and it has been all South Africa so far. Sri Lanka, take a look at our hero from the first innings so far. Yeah, and Rick Nortje today coming back from injury and a tough time, and has impressed. Took 4 wickets in his 4 overs for just 7 runs. Pace, variation, slower balls, the Yorkers, and those mean Yorker short balls as well. All right, let's get down to Dale Steyn. He's going to give us a pitch report.
Hey guys, so I've just popped down onto the field over here just for the mid-innings break. I must tell you, the atmosphere is pretty amazing, but the groundsman Todd has just rolled the pitch, and we just want to have a look at it right now. Coming from South Africa, I'm pretty familiar with these kind of pitches. There is a lot of grass cover on the pitch, and it is pretty hard. I'm just going to kind of drift into the middle over here. you can hear it, but there has been some significant movement, and it made the Sri Lankans batting really difficult. I thought with the first ball that was bowled, Marco Jansen was phenomenal. He set the tone, hit the deck real hard, and the rest of the bowlers started to follow. The outfield is stunning. It looks, there's not a blade of grass out of place over here. It looks like a beautiful place to play cricket, but the pitch has been a little bit difficult. Sri Lanka, they just never got started. It looked like they really struggled to build their innings, kind of went back into a default with their slogging. So let's see how they come up with the ball, because South Africa, if there was a target was 100 runs, would have been really difficult. But I think South Africa will knock these runs over, and we'll have a good day of cricket for the Proteas on the first day of the World Cup.
So we hear there that there are some challenging conditions. Well, Sri Lanka had to come out, but South Africa needs 78 runs to win from their first innings. So I'm joined by Steve Smith, and we just heard Dale Steyn talking about the conditions. It's going to be tricky there, but how do you see South Africa going?
Africans as much as possible, but I think they're going to come out and play some shots and see if they can get this total done quickly.
Yeah, I think that will be the dream, won't it? Quinton de Kock hasn't been in the best of form actually in 2024, but we know what he's capable of. This might be the sort of game that he needs to get his rhythm going.
Oh, he's a class player, and he loves playing in World Cups for South Africa, so yeah, I think we're going to see him come out and play quite aggressively here and try and knock these runs off pretty quickly.
One thing as well about South Africa, they have a very powerful middle order. You look at players like Klaassen, Hayden Markram himself, Tristan Stubbs, all fire in the IPL of late.
Yeah, they play beautifully. Stubbs and Heinrich Klaassen in particular are two of the informed batters in the world at the moment, I think. And yeah, they're a dangerous side, South Africa. If these two up top can get going and have a really good start to the tournament, you know, we know the power that their middle order possesses. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see how this goes.
Yeah, Reza Hendricks will join as the right-hander to the left-hand combination of Quinton de Kock. They've seen the conditions, they've seen the bounce, and also they've got an opportunity to get their first win of the tournament. The experience of Angelo Matthews is going to open up the bowling. Yeah, Angelo Matthews was actually part of that 2014 Sri Lanka win 10 years ago. And they're going to need all of his experience today. Came in the bat and picked up a couple of lusty blows and a few sixes. What magic can he bring now with the ball?
Good start from Matthews. It's quite surprising how much problems he can cause for a batter at this pace. The key to him is that the ball tends to wobble out of his hand. He's got a good change of pace. He'll keep it simple. And if he can get 2-3 overs from him in the power play, that allows Hasaranga to use his other bowlers later in the innings.
Yeah, he's certainly not as quick as some of the others we've seen today, but he does have some great skills. He presents a nice seam. We saw quite a bit of seam movement earlier on this morning, so it'll be interesting to see if it still remains the same with this new ball.
As you look at the Sri Lankan bowling attack, the two slingers, Hasaranga, they are a lot more effective when they come slightly later in the game. That's where, from a Sri Lankan point of view, looking at this bowling unit, he's got a crucial part to play.
Which I wonder if they actually thought about playing Chamira on this surface. You know, he's the kind of bowler that stands the seam up a little bit more and gets a bit more bounce. So potentially as an aggressive move, it could have been a good option. But also, you know, you've got to go with your strengths, which the two slingers possess as well.
Looking at what the South Africans got, that extra bounce. Yes, Chamira is right. With the two slingers, low arm, it's not bounce that they really rely on. But the fact that Chamira hasn't played a lot of cricket. He came out of injury. He was with the champion team, KKR, but played just a one game somewhere midway through the tournament. Whereas Tushara and Pathirana have been in the mix of things. And they're kind of X factors. Now looking at the first few balls from Matthews at this pace, a 130 or 140 would have been a massive score. It's just so unfortunate Sri Lanka got caught on the back foot, just couldn't break free and have 77 on the board. 160, which I thought early.
Just getting a little bit sloppy there with the line. He started so strong, 4 dot balls.
Went out of the window very quickly, that 160.
Yeah, they just couldn't get a partnership together, could they? They were under pressure from the outset, some really good bowling, and just kept losing wickets on the bounce. And against a quality outfit like South Africa, you can't afford to do that, and they just couldn't get going, could they?
Final couple of balls in this over. Only the 1 run so far. Clock just eases that one, and he's going to be looking for some form. Has had a excellent 2023 and then hasn't quite got that flow in this year, but we know how high quality he is. That single now brings Reza Hendricks on strike.
Do you think it's a slow, lowish score? Just get out there, get it as quickly as possible, eye on the net run rate. But for me, I think South Africa's approach should be to bat as much as they can, get the 2 points. They got 2 more games here in these conditions on this particular pitch. Get a feel for it. I guess